Good morning. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. We are in September. It's another Monday. Hence, I'm here. And it is time for another Meditation Monday. So, for those of you who don't know, for those of you who are new to the space, hi, good morning. I'm Esty. And we are going through focus scriptures that come from my digital goal setting planner, the Write It Out Goal Setting Planner. And in that planner, there are a bunch of scriptures that are given to you at the beginning of the month. And at the beginning of the month, you are able to focus on said scripture. And what morning meditation is us going through those scriptures together. So whether you have the planner or not, that's fine. You can always follow along. But I would love for you to get the planner. So if you want the link, feel free to hit me up. I can get that to you. If you're on YouTube and you're on Facebook, the link should be somewhere posted already. Anywho, we are in September. September is my favorite month of the year. If you know, you know. But yes, so we are in September, and the focus scripture for September is Jeremiah 29:11. Jeremiah 29:11, which says, "For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord, plans for peace and well-being and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope." So that is Jeremiah 29:11. Jeremiah 29:11. That is where we are going to focus in on for this month, the whole month of September. So if you come back again next Monday, hi, good morning. You come back next Monday, we will still be in Jeremiah 29:11, okay? Because we are focusing in on it all month long. Jeremiah 29:11. Now, one of the things that I want to focus in on for today, as we look at Jeremiah 29:11, I want to focus in on hope. Hope and a future. Okay? Having hope is really, really important. When you don't have hope, essentially you don't have faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. So you need hope. It helps build your faith. And having hope for a future is really what we need. We need hope. We need faith. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. So we're out here living our entrepreneurial dreams, living our entrepreneur life, whatever the case is. Maybe you're a creative individual like myself, and the ideas are just always flowing. They're always coming, right? You're full of ideas. You're full of vision, which is great. But we need to be able to harness that, bring it together. Everything is not for right now. And that is one of the things that we need to be able to understand. That's why having a relationship with the Lord, having a relationship with the Holy Spirit is always essential, because you need to know when you are gathering vision, when things and ideas are coming to you, is this for right now or is this for later? These are things that we need to be able to understand and know what to do with, because baby, let me tell you, the ideas that your girl got, plentiful. Okay, I got ideas for days. That doesn't mean that everything is for right now. That is why it is important to write things down. Write the vision and make it plain. Okay, write the vision and make it plain. That way a herald can read it and run with it at the appointed time. Everything has an appointed time. Okay. So I want you to be mindful of that. Every idea that you get is not for right now. So when God says his plans for you are to prosper you, He has plans to prosper you. These ideas that you're getting, God gives us and gifts us with a creative mind. He made us in his image and in his likeness. So God is a creator. He made us creators. We are creative beings. We are creative individuals. It's okay that you have a lot of ideas. That's wonderful. But knowing what to do with them, knowing when to utilize them, it's okay. Um, Anyways, so we just want to acknowledge that it is important that we have our own relationship with the Lord. We want to acknowledge that his plans for us are to prosper us. His plans are not to harm us. His plans are to give you hope. What is faith? Faith is the substance of things hoped for. We need hope. Life can be it can life, okay? Life can life sometimes, but we need to not allow external circumstances to move us. Hello. We need not be moved by what is happening around us. We have to be able to be steadfast and immovable and unshakable, regardless of what's happening all around, because it's going to get even crazier than it is right now. But where does your hope, where does your faith lie? That is what is important, okay? So, another thing to remember that we talked about last week, what we talked about last week is understanding the context where this word was even spoken. So, when Jeremiah gave this word, it's not like everything that was happening was peachy keen, right? When Jeremiah gave this word, life was lifing for them, okay? The children of Israel. They were in bondage at that time. It was not, everything in life was not going good for them, okay? So I don't want people to think that this word comes at a time where everything is just honky, like everything's great and it's all sunshine, roses, rainbows, all the things. Like when this word was given, this word was given in the middle of them being in bondage, in a hard place. Life was not easy for them in this time, right? But what does God do? He speaks hope. He speaks encouragement to them, even in the midst of them being in a situation that is not ideal. So maybe right now your life does not look ideal. Maybe right now you are not in the most ideal situation, circumstance, what you feel like your life should be right now. Maybe it's not there. That is okay. This word still applies. Why? When the word was initially given, they were not in the best of circumstances, but the word was given. I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. Plans for peace and well being, plans to prosper you and not to harm you. It is not God's intention to bring you harm. I'm going to say that again. It is not God's intention to bring you harm. A lot of times we have patterns, we have choices that we make, and these choices that we make then yield results in our life that we are not always the happiest with, right? When this word was given to the children of Israel, they had been given warning after warning before they ended up in the bondage that they were in to stop doing the things that they were doing, right? So in our own lives, We experience things, we make decisions, we get warnings, we have people come in our lives and try and speak wisdom to us, right? So it is not like things just happen off guard. But God is a father, He's a parent, and no parent is just going to let their child continue down a path that is going to destroy them. So sometimes our lives are in the states that they are in because of the choices that we make. And we have to acknowledge that. We can't skate past that. Everything is not the devil attacking you. Everything is not um everything is not witchcraft. Everything is not this person out to get you, this person speaking evil of you. Some things that are happening in your life are because of the decisions and the choices that you made. And these are now the consequences of your actions. Mhm. I know that doesn't always feel good. People don't always want to hear that, but the truth is the truth, okay? Sometimes what you are experiencing is a result of you. It's a result of your choices. It's a result of the decisions that you made. And until you are willing to face the decisions you've made and willing to acknowledge your part to play, you're going to continue to be stuck. God's plans don't change. What happens is we need to get in alignment and get in agreement with his plans. And the sooner we can get in alignment and get in agreement with his plans, we will see the shift, we will see the change that we are looking for. Maybe you are a creative individual like myself, right? I am someone who thrives on creativity and arts. I love the arts. That's my thing. The vision that God has for you is bigger than your next project or the next idea that you have. Like his plans are so much bigger than what you can ask, hope, think, or imagine, right? So even if you're in a place right now where maybe you're having a writer's block, maybe self doubt is trying to rear its ugly head, maybe you're just feeling like imposter syndrome, real loud, and every idea that you can think of feels like a terrible idea that is not going anywhere. I just want to encourage you, keep creating. Keep creating. Keep doing the thing. Keep writing. Even if you feel like your writing is sucking right now. Like, if it feels like it's trash, keep writing. Write some more. Even when it feels like trash, write some more. Mm-hmm. Write some more. If you are painting, go take a class. Take a class. Get on YouTube. Go to YouTube University, right? There are so many tutorials and different things. Like just get out of the same thing that you're constantly doing if you're feeling a creative block, okay? Um, don't allow yourself to stay stuck because when the blocks set in, they they're lies. I just want you to know that the creative blocks, they are lies. You can find creativity in everything and anything. You just have to be able to look for it. You got to train your eye. And that is something for you to do. Train your eye. Train your eye to find something creative in the most mundane things. If you can train your eye to find creativity in the most mundane of things, I promise you, it will help you the next time you feel blocked. Go look at some clouds if you're in an area where there are clouds. Let your imagination go. See, we have to learn how to play again because life has made us so serious. Adulting has made us so serious that we no longer understand just how to play. Go outside, look at the clouds, or find some pictures of some clouds if you don't have clouds in the sky near you. Go look at some pictures of some clouds and stare at them and see what you can see inside the clouds. Let your imagination go to work for a minute in something just as mundane as looking at clouds. What do you see in the clouds? Allow yourself that time of creativity, allow yourself that time of play, because in those moments of play, in those moments, something's going to unlock for you, and your block is now unblocked. Creativity is now happening, creativity is now flowing again. Hope in a future helps you stay rooted in the long game instead of being thrown off by the frustrations of today. Remembering that even if right now isn't what you want, God's plan for you is still in play. His plan for you is still in play, even if right now looks crazy. Even if right now looks crazy, his plan for you is still in play. I want you to think about that. When someone gets pregnant, they have to wait. Doesn't matter how much they want the baby right now. The time of conception and the time of delivery waits an appointed time. Now, of course, there are different situations and circumstances where babies come early and premature babies and all the things, right? We understand that there are um, exceptions to the rule. But ideally, realistically, um, the time of conception is not the time of delivery. And what has happened, what I see a lot is this generation now, the world has conditioned us to move so quickly, has conditioned us to not be patient. The world has conditioned us to really want things right now, want things quick, want things fast, want things in a hurry. Sitting still, being still doesn't feel good. It's like all the stuff that they give us makes you almost have ADHD. Like there's so much overstimulation. Maybe, maybe just pause. Sometimes it's good to turn the phone off. Sometimes it's good to go outside, be in nature, not have headphones in your ear. You know, these things are good for us, even though we want things right now, right now, right now. Patience is something that we really need to get back to working on, because I always say this: we see people and we're like, oh, they just blew up overnight. No, you found out about them, it seems like they blew up overnight, but they've been working for the past 10 years behind the scenes. You never saw that stuff. You never saw all the other hard work that they were putting in. You never saw all the other pages that they had and deleted and all the things. You see the effects of the blow up, but they have been working. Every overnight success, I promise you, if you really look into their story, 10 years, they've been working hard. Okay. So, conception versus delivery. Your ideas, your visions, they are like babies. That business idea that you got, these are like your babies. You have your idea. Okay, since we're on this whole pregnancy tip, right? When a woman gets pregnant, there are certain things that have to change about what she does, how she eats, different things. She should not be drinking, should not be smoking. Like, if you have those types of habits, those things, you have to stop doing certain things when you realize conception has happened. Same thing when you get a God idea, when you get a vision for a business, when you get these things uh, from heaven, okay? When you get these things, your movement has to change. You can no longer just do life the way you have been doing it. If you want to see the results of that idea that is being conceived and you want to bring it to full term and delivery, your discipline needs to change. You gotta get proper rest because you can't think clearly if you don't have rest. You have to begin to take care of your body. Your body will do for you as you do for it. Your brain is a computer. If you leave a computer on all day 24/7, it is going to overheat, it is going to crash. Same way you need to rest. You need to get rest. You need to find a space of peace. You need to not allow life to stress you. And you need to be able to have yourself in a clear headed space so you can think, so you can build upon that idea, so you can be able to go ahead and work a little bit at a time. Now, I know social media has been going crazy, crazy, crazy over what Miss Tabitha Brown has said about entrepreneurs whose business is not businessing, your business not businessing the way it should, right? And she said, go get a job. And people are upset that she would have the audacity, the gall, the gumption to say such a thing, right? But what is so wrong about what she has said? I'm not understanding the uproar in what she said. Yes, she has a whole bunch of money, right? But before she had money, before she blew up, she was working. I think she was driving Uber or something like that, right? She was driving, she was doing gig work. She was doing something and still pursuing her dream. I watched the video of what she said, and what she said, I didn't. I didn't see anything wrong with what she said. She said, if it's not working right now, get a job. You can still pursue what it is that you're trying to pursue. But have you considered maybe what you're trying to pursue, it's not the appointed time, and that's why it's not working? Maybe you're trying to force a thing and it's still in the conception gestation period. It's still developing and growing, and you need to be able to grow that thing. You need to be able to fund that thing some other kind of way. And if you're not applying for grants, if you're not applying, if you're not applying for grants, if you're not getting mentorship, if you're just out here winging it and it's not working, then I don't see anything wrong with what she said. You can still get a job and work your business. Like, I'm not understanding the uproar against it. Like, when did becoming someone who works a 9 to 5 become a bad thing? Like, somewhere in this social media space, it became you a slave if you work a 9 to 5. You building somebody else's dream and all this other stuff. Like, life continues on. You need a roof over your head. You need to eat. And the Bible say, a man that don't work don't eat. That's also what the word says. The man that don't work don't eat. So if you're not working and your business not moving and you need to eat, like, I'm not I'm not following the uproar. I'm not following the uproar. But all of that just to say, there's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5 and pursuing your business from 5 to 9. Okay? Do your 9 to 5, then put in that 5 to 9. And if you really serious, right? You really serious, actually go to bed at 9 so you can get you some rest and then get up early. Wake up early. Mm-hmm. Put in some work before you go to work. Because eventually, as you are consistent, as you do what is necessary, as you listen and align yourself with what God is birthing through you, through these ideas, as you sit still and have the clarity to hear what should be birthed through you, right? Then you will eventually be able to leave that 9 to 5 should you choose. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Everything is not for right now. Some things, I have these great ideas, but I know they're not for right now. In this space that I'm in this season, that idea is not for right now. That is for it's for a later time, and I'm okay with that. We have to be okay with everything not being for right now. We have to learn patience. We have to learn how to wait in expectation. When God said, I know the plans I have for you, they did not immediately come up out of that situation they were in. God spoke that word. And then he didn't just shift things right away. We need to learn patience. We need the fruit of long suffering. And society today is pushing us to where we no longer are developing that fruit because everything got to happen right now. That's why you people are looking for the quick, fast way to lose weight and all the things, and they're ending up worse than they started because they want the fast way. They want the quick diet. They want the quick fix. They don't want the discipline. They don't want the discipline and the hard work of hitting the gym, of actually eating foods that nourish your body as opposed to what we eat. As opposed to what we eat. Like we we love to eat what we want. And the typical American diet is why America is the most obese, overweight country in the world. Why there's so many people with heart disease in America. Why there's so many people with cancer in America. Why? Because all the places that we love to eat, and they put the signs in our faces. This food causes cancer and reproductive issues. And then we wonder why there's so many people with fertility issues in America, why there's so many overweight people with issues in America. They put it in our face. They told us what they're doing. They told us what they're giving us. The signs are right there. We buy it and we consume it anyway because it tastes good, because it's convenient, because we don't want to cook at home. That's what happens. That's what happens. We don't want to cook at home. We don't want the patience of having to cook. So we would rather go through a drive through, wait in the drive through line for a few minutes, and have a meal that's mass produced in grease and all kind of other things that are terrible for the body. And then we consume that. And then we wonder why we have issues. When, if we would take the time to prepare our meals, prepare our food. We'd be all right. And I hear people all the time say, like, oh, healthy food don't taste good. Baby, that's food tastes how you cook it. Food tastes how you cook it. So get you some seasoning. Figure out some seasonings. There's a whole lot of herbs and spices in that good grocery store. A whole lot of them. I highly suggest you go right on back to YouTube University and look up some recipes, okay? Look up some stuff. You would be surprised what you can find out if you just look for it. But we like the excuse that, oh, that food don't taste good. I can tell you right now. I can tell you right now, Percy, Diabetes Kitchen. You go to that good YouTube channel right there. Vegan food. Percy's recipes. He got a cookbook, all the things. He give you recipes. You can go look at the channel. The food look amazing. It's vegan. It's okay. He give you all kind of meat replacements and all the things, and it tastes bomb. So that's eating healthy doesn't taste good. It's not an excuse. Or eating healthy is too expensive. Okay, so you want to pay for it now, or you want the hospital bill that you're gonna have from continuing to eat the way that is turning because that's all that's going to happen. You're going to pay. You're either going to pay monetarily for better now, or you're going to pay monetarily in bills, you're going to pay in pain, you're going to pay in suffering. It's all in the choices that you make. All in the choices that you make. And see, it's not God's plan for us that we be diabetic, that we be full of cancer, that we be bedridden, that we have hormonal issues. Like that's not his plan. How do we end up in these places? The choices that we make. We have free will. We have the ability to make choices. And the choices and the decisions that we make affect everything else in our lives. And when we begin to understand that the choices and the things that the decisions we make affect everything else in our lives, we will begin to choose differently. And when you begin to choose differently, that is when the breakthrough begins to happen. You will begin to see God move and see God work because you are now making better choices that align with His plan. And that's how that works. We have to align ourselves with the plan. No matter how much you want a thing, if God's plan for you requires you to be over here, but you're stuck on being in this space right here, and you praying, and you fasting, and you doing all the things, but God's plan is over here. Until you line yourself up, you will never receive it. As long as you are insistent on praying and fasting and being in this place right here, but God's like, hey, I'm over here. Hi, what I have for you, it's over in this place. Shift, move, come on. And He'll even begin to dry stuff up over here. But you're insistent in the wrong thing. Shift with God. Move when He says move. Because He has a plan for you. His plan is not to harm you. His plan is to prosper you. His plan is to give you hope. His plan is for your future. God thinks long term. God thinks long term. God's plan, it's it's bigger than just right now. Okay? It's bigger than today. And a lot of times we get so stuck in today, we're not thinking about what happens tomorrow. We're not thinking about what happens 2 years from now, 3 years from now, because we're stuck on right now. I want you to have hope. I want you to have hope because God has something so beautiful for you that is perfect for you. It's perfect for you. We have to get out of comparing ourselves and thinking that what the next person does or has is what we need to do because we really have to get into the habit of sitting with the Holy Spirit, sitting with God, and understanding what God has for us to do, right? Because trying to compare yourself with the next person, it does not work. You don't know what that person has gone through to be in the space that they're in now. And half the time, you would not want to walk in those person's shoes to have what they are having right now. Comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison is the thief of joy. Do not compare yourself to anybody. Do not compare yourself to the next person. Do not compare your art to the next artist. Do not compare your business to the next person. What God has given you is yours. Develop what He's given you. Cultivate what He's given you. What He has given you is what is necessary for the people who are assigned to your voice. There are certain people who I will never reach because they can't hear me. They were never meant to hear me. It was never designed for them to hear me. But they'll listen to you. They'll listen to what you have to say because they're assigned to your voice. I could tell them till I'm blue in the face, but you say it and the light bulbs go off. You say it and the aha moment happens for them. I could have been saying the same thing. Does not matter. They're not going to hear it from me. They're going to hear it from you. That's why you being you and you being able to release what's on your heart to release is necessary. Because there are people connected to your assignment that are not connected to my assignment. Everybody has their part to play. The people that Peter reached are the people that Peter reached. The people that Paul reached were not the same people that Peter reached. Paul was called to who he was called to. Peter was called to who Peter was called to. Did they serve the same God? Yes. Yes, they did. Did they deliver the message the same way? No. No, they did not. But the end result, they were in their assignment. You got to get in your assignment. Just like I am in mine. I can't be worried about what the next person is doing, how the next person is posting their stuff and all the can't be worried about none of that. What is the vision that you have been given? How is that in accordance to the plan that God has for you? You will never know the plan God has for you if you won't sit still in His presence. Ain't nothing, ain't no conference, ain't like we do a whole lot of stuff in the body, but tell somebody sit down and be still, and it's like you cussing at them. But be still, sit down, and listen. Like really, don't even turn on a whole bunch of stuff. Like don't turn on your favorite worship song that gets the emotions going. Like don't do none of that. Maybe you can turn on some like atmospheric music with no words, nothing with words in it, and just be still. Sit still. Have a notebook and write some things down. Just write. See what comes out. Because we're so quick, move. We don't even know. We don't even know the plans that God has for us. Not because He won't reveal them, because we won't sit still long enough to get the plan. We just be moving. We get an idea and we start moving. We get an idea, we don't wait for instructions, we just move. I can tell you, there are certain things God gives me, and He won't even say everything. He'll drop a name, and then won't say anything. What I'm supposed to do? I'm supposed to sit still, seek His face, and figure out, okay, what is this? You gave me this name. What am I supposed to do with this? Is this an event? Is this a series? What is this thing? Is this a workshop? Like what is this thing that you have given me? And I have to sit still with it long enough to understand what it is. When back on this baby thing, when someone is pregnant, you do not know the gender of the baby until a certain point in that pregnancy. Like you don't just know right away unless the Lord Himself or a prophet tell you, oh, you have it this. And like, other than that, you have to wait the appointed time. And even when they say it, you still got to wait the appointed time to confirm, yes, this is a boy. Yes, this is a girl. Like, you don't know that first week what it is. Okay. So you get an idea, sit with it, meditate on it, seek the Lord, pray, ask Him, what is this? What am I supposed to do with this? What do you desire to come from this? That's what we should be doing with our ideas. That's what we should be doing with the things that are given to us. Don't be so quick to want to do it right now if right now is not the time for the thing. And that's where we get frustrated. We frustrate ourselves because we're trying to do things out of season. We frustrate ourselves because we're trying to do things out of season and out of alignment. We have to make sure we're in alignment. We have to make sure we're doing the things in the proper season. We have to make sure we are listening and getting instructions and not just running with a crumb. All we got is the title and we move it. Slow down, pump your brakes, pause. What is this a title for? What is this going to do? Who is it to serve? And I think that's one of the things, especially if you call yourself wanting to be an entrepreneur, you want to open business. I'm not saying you should not, but there are certain things that you need to know. And a lot of times we move quickly without considering the things like, who is your target audience? Who's your audience? Who are you speaking to? Who's your audience? Who is this product servicing? Who is it for? Because when you don't know those things and you just running, throwing things at the wall, hoping it sticks, that's why a lot of times you're not getting results. That's why you're not getting results. You have to get clear. And you can't get clear if you won't sit still and listen. You can't get clear if you just rush, go. I got to get this done. I got to get this done. I got to move. I got to build. I got to do. What are you building? What are we building? Yes, God's plans for you are great. Yes, God has something for you in the future that is amazing. But are you developing yourself to become the person who can steward that thing well? Because God is a God of stewardship. How are you stewarding what you have right now, but you are expecting the $1 million breakthrough? You're expecting the $10,000 months. And I'm not saying those things are bad. I'm not saying those things are impossible. I'm not saying that, you shouldn't have those things. You should definitely have those things. But are you the person who can steward that well? Have you developed yourself to become a person who's disciplined enough to steward that well? And if you haven't, maybe that's why you don't have it yet. And this is not a judgment on you, because guess what? I'm not having I'm not having consistent $10,000 months. It's not happening in my business. No. So I'm not out here just like, oh, you need to do this. Like, no, I'm not that person. That'll never be me. I'm just I be talking to myself first, y'all. And then if it lands, it lands with y'all too. But I be talking to me. Okay. I be talking to me. I am showing up here because this is an act of obedience. This is an act of obedience to something that I said I would do years ago, and I never did it. And now we are at week 24, bless the Lord, of me showing up on Mondays to do this thing. Okay. But this is really, really out of obedience. Because I'm being honest, this is not like my whole, I just want to get on Facebook and YouTube and speak about the Bible and stuff, right? But here we are. Here we are at week 24 of me yielding. Do I know what's going to come from this? No. But I know God has a plan for it. I know that the more I show up and the more I do this, the more comfortable I will become in doing these things. And I can't say, oh, yeah, I'm going to be a speaker and I'm going to do all these things, but I can't show up online to speak to whoever is here, right? Doesn't matter if it's one person, doesn't matter if it's 50 people, it doesn't matter if it's 1,000 people. Y'all gonna get this same energy regardless, because I'm showing up as I said I would. And we're at week 24. Okay. Yeah, we can clap that up. We're at week 24. Bless God. Um, but I know he has a plan. Do I understand the plan completely? No, I don't understand the plan completely, but I'm showing up. And the more I show up, the more he reveals. But he reveals as you take those steps forward. You can't not take the step and be like, God, what are you doing? Show me, show me, show me. He's waiting for you to take the step. As you take the step, more things will be revealed. But you have to move with him to get the next set of instructions. You have to move with him to get the next set of instructions. You can't stay still in a place that he told you to shift from and think you're going to get the next set of instructions. If God's not saying anything, if he's quiet, it's because he already said what he said. And you got to do what you got to do so you can get to the next thing. That's important. You gotta get to the first part of what he said so you can get the next part of what he said, so the plan can unfold as it needs to unfold. But really, it's dependent on your obedience and your surrender to the plan. The plan can only plan in your surrenderance, in your obedience. God's plan for Abraham and Sarah was always to give them Isaac. That was always his plan. Now, Sarah had her own ideas. Sarah had her own ideas on what she thought needed to happen, and she made some decisions and interjected her plan into God's plan, and we saw how that turned out. Then, she created something that then brought discomfort to her in her own home because she had an idea, right? Let's make sure that we are seeking the Lord in all of our planning. Because God already told them the plan, and Sarah thought she had another way to make the plan happen. Y'all, we be too creative for our own good sometimes. Don't be so creative, okay? Like, don't do that. Don't be so creative, okay? Like, we gotta calm down. We gotta calm down because the plan was already laid out. Abraham, Sarah, y'all gonna have a child. Now, what possessed Sarah to go on and bring her maidservant? Why? That is not what the Lord said. He didn't say, I'm going to use your maidservant to give you a baby. No. That ain't what he said. That is not what was said. We be coming up with our own ideas. We think we know a better way than what God already put out there. Why? Because if you remember, she laughed. She believed she was too old. She believed it was past her time. She was out of her prime. She couldn't do it. All the things. What has God said to you that you think you're unable to do because it's past your time? Or you just don't think you can do it? I really, you don't have to put it in the comments or anything. Don't do that. But think about that. Write it down. Write it down. What has God promised you? What has He said to you? And you believe there's no way that's going to happen. Write it down. I want you to think about that. I want you to sit with that. Why do you think it would never happen? Why do you think it would never happen? So I'm going to give us a task, a second task, because I just gave you one. But I'm going to give you another task. I'm going to give us all another task because I'm going to do it too, right? And I want you to write down what God is planting for you, in you, for your future. Like, where do you see your business? What is it going to look like a year from now? What is your creative life? Whether you paint, whether you're a poet, whatever your creativity looks like for you, where is that a year from now? Because we so stuck on right now. Come out of right now. What is it going to look like in a year? Really set a timer. Take a timer. We're not going to do this now. Take a timer. Set 10 minutes and really ask yourself, visualize it. Close your eyes, visualize it, all the things. A year from now, what do you want it to look like? What is that desire that's deep on the inside? What does it look like a year from now? What does your business look like a year from now? What does your creative practice look like a year from now? Because that right there is a whole other thing. Like, it's called a practice for a reason. Y'all, we should, if whatever you do, if you write, you should be writing every day. If you paint, you should at least be sketching something every day. Every day. Every day. Every day. Yes, every day. It's a practice, which means you do it over and over and over again. Practice. Do it until it becomes second nature. Do it and then do it some more. Do it when it's boring. Do it when you don't feel like it. Do it. When I go to the gym, every time I enter the gym, I'm on that Stairmaster. I hate the Stairmaster, y'all. I do not like it. I hate when I say I hate the Stairmaster, I hate the Stairmaster. But this it's not about just me liking or not liking the Stairmaster. This is about me having a goal for my body and doing what it takes to get to that goal, regardless of how I feel about it. Me being able to do the thing I don't want to do, being able to dedicate myself to do the thing I don't want to do, is going to translate over into other areas of my life. I'm developing discipline. It started with a fast in May. If y'all know me, y'all know I got a sweet tooth. Y'all know I stay with some Sour Patch Kids. I stay with some gummy worms, all the things. I be stashing them, okay? It started with a fast in May. Where I said, for the whole month of May, no candy, no sugar. Well, I mean, not no sugar, just no candy. I have not had candy since May. We are in September. Well, no, there was one time we went to the movies and I had some Sour Patches with my popcorn. If you've never done it, you know, it's a whole vibe. You should try it one time before, you know. But yeah, that's it. That's the one time since May that I said no more candy. There's been no candy. Not a payday, not 100 gram bar, like zero. Discipline. We have to be able to do what we don't want to do to get the results that we want. Because if what we wanted could have been achieved with what we've been doing, we would already have it. And since we don't have it, that means it's time to switch it up. So there we have it. So you've got two tasks to do. Comment, or shoot me a DM. You don't have to comment. Shoot me a DM. Let me know how that was for you. Well, yes, your first task is to write down the thing that God said that you feel like is impossible for you. Write it down. And then the second thing is take 10 minutes, close your eyes, visualize. What does your creative practice look like a year from now? What does your business look like a year from now? Okay, yes. Those are your two tasks. I love y'all. I have been on here long enough. It is time for me to go do some other things. So that is our morning meditation for this day. Hope. We're going to have hope. We're going to have hope. We're going to have hope. We're not going to allow comparison and the things that are happening externally to steal our joy, to steal our hope, to steal our faith, because God's plans for us are to prosper us and not to harm us. So we are going to have hope for the future. We are going to visualize what that looks like. We are going to synchronize ourselves with what the Heavenly Father is planning for us. And we are going to align ourselves with His plans. We're not going to just interject our own plans like Sarah did and create a thing that then brings us war and chaos in our house. We're not going to do that. We're going to be still. We're going to allow the conception period to pass. We're going to wait for the term to come where we can identify what this conception idea is. And then we're going to allow it to continue to grow until the appointed time of delivery. Okay. I love y'all. That's what I got for y'all. This live is going to close because I got stuff to do. I love y'all. I hope you have an amazing Monday. I hope you have an amazing week. Oh, it is the second week of September. So, second Saturday is coming up. If you would like to join in on the second Saturday paint session, then feel free to send me a DM and I will shoot you the link so that you can join in on the fun. September, the theme of this month is gold. It's gold. So we are going to be making a pour using gold, and I'm thinking instead of using white base, we may use a black base just because I feel like the gold on the black is going to do some things. We're gonna see. We're gonna see how this turns out. Okay. So that's for second Saturday. So second Saturday, we're doing our pour. I'd love for you to join me. Feel free to join me. We will also dive deeper into the devotional for September. We are going to be looking at devotional 1. Yes, we'll be looking at devotional 1. If you have the soul notes for the month of September. If you don't have the soul notes and you're like, hey, what is this? I want in. I'll send you the link. Let me know. I'll send you the link for the soul notes devotional. It's $12. And it's got a coloring page. It's got devotionals that focus on scriptures dealing with identity and worth. That is our theme for September, identity and worth. That is what we are talking on and focusing in on. And again, today we talked about Jeremiah 29:11, focusing in on the hope for the future. Hope for the future. Don't get stuck in right now, because right now might not be what you want it to be. That's okay. Don't be stuck in right now. Your tomorrow is still promised. And the promises that God made, He didn't lie. Just know that He didn't lie. Okay? I love y'all. I'm ending this now. I hope y'all have an amazing week. Hit me up if you want in on those things. I love y'all. Bye.